Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mission Employable podcast. My name is Ben Oldach. Kathy Leggett is out today, so it's just going to be me behind the microphone here. But I've got a great guest for you guys today, something a little bit different. We've got Alicia Callanan here. She's the Deputy Treasurer for the state of Iowa. And something we do a lot on this show is talk about how to get jobs, how to land jobs, or if you're an employer, you know, how to bring in some of these folks in your talent pipeline. But we don't really talk about what people can do with their money once they start earning that money. And so that's kind of what we're touching on here today. And it's specifically for Iowans who have disabilities. And it's a really interesting kind of piece of information that I think is going to be super useful. So Alicia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of your role as Deputy Treasurer.
Yeah, so I've been with the state for approximately 12 years. My whole time has been in the Treasury. So I work very closely with the IABLE program, which we'll talk about, but then also the 529 plans. I say 529 is what most are familiar with, and then our unclaimed property as well.
Awesome. And so obviously we're here to talk about the IABLE account.
Yeah.
And so why don't you just kind of give me a little bit of a background about what that is, what's it for, who's it for?
Yeah, so IABLE is a program. It's part of a national,
No, you're good.
IABLE is a program that is based off of the ABLE Act, which is Achieving a Better Life Experience. So it is designed for individuals with disabilities that are eligible to save and protect their assets from the means-tested benefits. So a lot of times individuals can't have more than $2,000, or it could affect what benefits they're receiving. Those federal benefits, a lot of times it's like SSI, Medicaid. These accounts allow them to save it and then use the funds on qualified disability expenses, which is just really anything that helps improve their life. And I don't know where my aunt was going.
But so it's essentially protecting some of the money that they're earning so that they can earn this money and not sacrifice some of the benefits that they might receive.
Yeah, and it can be money earned or it can be money that was gifted to them. Contributions don't have to come just from, we call them the account owner, so that's the individual with the disability. It can come from anyone, family, friends, whoever the support system may be. There can be ABLE accounts where the family members are helping manage the account or some other support system. Or then we have individuals who can manage their own. We call those the account owners.
Yeah. And so in this account, does it work like a checking account, savings account, investment account, kind of like all three?
That's a great question. It can be all three. It really is flexible because we want it to work for whatever someone's needs are. So some people are going to be saving for those short-term expenses. Some are saving for long-term expenses. Some are just doing everything in between or both. So we have people who does have a checking account option. So people use it as a transactional account, just how I use my checking account to pay all my bills. And then other people do have some of the investments. We have different investment options that range from aggressive to more conservative and vice versa. Or some people do a mix. They maybe put some stuff in the aggressive because they're saving for those long-term expenses, but then they're using the checking account as well.
Yeah. And they have like a debit card that they use to pull money out of this? Like how do they access those funds?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways. If they have the checking account, they can do a debit card or they can do a checkbook as well. I think in this age, most people do the debit card.
Oh, yeah.
But then if they need to move funds out of the investment options, they can request a withdrawal, and that can be a check or it can be a transfer just to a different bank account if they want it, or into their ABLE checking account as well.
Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, it's a bank account that they get to use, but that money is protected.
Yeah, so a lot of times people try to start thinking about it complicated, and the easiest way is just think about your own bank account. It's very similar. The only difference is that this account is protected, and it does have tax advantage growth too, so any of the earnings grow tax-free.
Yeah, excellent. So that's wonderful information that people might not even know exists, and that's kind of why we're talking about this now, is that the amount of people that this is going to impact or potentially impact is going to be growing pretty significantly next year.
Yeah, we're really excited. So currently an eligible individual had to have the onset of their disability be prior to age 26. They can sign up for this account at any age.
Sure.
But the onset had to be prior to 26. On January 1st, that changes to 46.
Yeah.
Which we know is going to impact a ton of people, especially working individuals.
Right. And that disability could be anything from physical to, mental disability or anything?
Oh, yep, it can be anything. So the criteria to have an ABLE account is that onset age. So currently 26, and then it'll be 46. And then you have to meet one of the other three criterias. So it can be that you receive SSI or SSDI, or you would be eligible to and maybe you're opting not to. It could be that you have a diagnosis that's on the SSA's compassionate allowance list. We have a link to that on our website. You don't have to have it memorized. And then the other one could just be that you have a certification from a physician that you have a similarly severe disability.
Sure. And so, because right now we have close to 3,500 Iowans that have accounts, but 68,000 are eligible.
Correct.
Right. So there's a kind of a wide gap between the people that are using this account and the people that could use this account. And in 2026, you guys let me know ahead of time. I didn't just dig this out of the earth. That's going to grow to 130,000 people could be eligible in Iowa for this plan.
Yes, exactly, in Iowa. And so we really we run into a couple obstacles. First, a lot of individuals have been told forever they can't save.
Yeah.
Now they can. So really getting them to understand and to trust that, or just being aware of the program in general.
Right. And so obviously you're doing this podcast, which is a great way to spread the word. But what else are you guys working on to kind of spread this message and grow it and share it to the people that need to know?
Yeah, so we really try to build connections. So working with different partners that might interact with someone that could benefit from it. Social media, we have quite an active presence and try to share there. Upcoming October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month.
Yep.
So we're going to be at a few different conferences, and we just really try to get out. If anyone wants us to be a speaker in an event, we encourage that. We do presentations all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that I think one of the reasons that we're talking about this is not just because we've highlighted different avenues for Iowans with disabilities to find employment, but we also know that we reach, HR professionals and people that are kind of in the employer side of things that can also be kind of a conduit for these folks to know that this is available. So if there are HR professionals that are listening to this and that are, they know that they're going to be hiring someone who might have a disability, this is something that they could let them know about, ahead of time after, when they bring them on board, that this is available for them.
Absolutely. And if the HR professionals want to reach out to us, we also can work with them to get it set up where they can do a direct deposit from whichever way. They're getting paid directly into the ABLE account. So that way the working individual doesn't necessarily have to move it from one account to another. It can just automatically, let's say they put 50%. Similar to how I have some of mine going to my savings account, some going to my checking account. They could do it the same way. Also, it's not just the individuals with the disability that are always saving. I might be saving for my child who has a disability as well. So it could be a benefit that you can add for the individual with disability, but also just for all employees, as you never know what someone has going on at home.
Right, exactly. And that's something, again, that we talk about quite a lot, is that it's not always obvious who has a disability and who doesn't, and who might be able to benefit from this. So this is an account that you can share with all of your employees, because like you said, it's something that you never know who might need to use it.
Yeah, and what we have also found for HR professionals is some employers have taken the opportunity across the country with ABLE accounts. They might not be able to put money into a retirement account, like a match, because of then the individual would lose their federal means tested benefits. This could be a way where they could do a match in the ABLE account. It does count as a fringe benefit for that employer. So maybe there's just different ways to save, is just throwing it out there on the table, and if someone could benefit, they might take it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you kind of talked about this could be beyond Iowa, because you guys are part of a larger group that is doing this kind of nationwide.
Yep. So a lot of states have programs. We're part of the National ABLE Alliance, which is a group of 19 states. And the reason we did that is we realized just with Iowa, you talked about our accounts. We don't have a large account group still. We wanted to make sure these were inexpensive and we were given the best option. So by joining together with this National ABLE Alliance, so the 19 other states, we're able to offer a great plan. A plan that has the different investment options instead of just one, that has a checking account, and to keep those expenses low.
Yeah, because there are some maintenance fees with this account, but like you said, it's I think you said $7 or something, or
yeah, they're very low. And we just did have another price reduction in September, so that was great. Yeah, to get professionally managed investments, if you're familiar with that world, and I know not everyone is, but you are getting very professionally managed investments through major investment companies at that low cost.
Yeah, and that's great to have an organization that can help keep those costs low for people that have, got all kinds of expenses that, we might not even consider when it comes to, healthcare, medical, things like that.
Yeah, and I'd say, that's very important. And one of the, I think the scary things that might intimidate people, investments are scary.
Yeah.
I think investments are scary, and I work with them all the time. You don't know. So we make that very simple. We have these very named aggressive, so you understand what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Conservative, so you understand what you're getting into. And then just a regular checking account, which the National ABLE Alliance is one of the few groups across the country that has the checking account option. And so we think that's important. It allows people to plan for those day-to-day expenses and just really use it transactionally, how I'm able to pay my own bills. I can go to any store I want and purchase things. Everyone should have that ability.
Right, exactly. And that kind of leads us into the next thing I wanted to talk about is that, like, you know, we talk a lot about numbers and accounts and, you know, how much money you can put in there, but like this actually means something to people in real life. And I kind of wanted to talk to you about some of the success stories that you've seen with this account, kind of like increasing that quality of life for these folks.
Absolutely. So I have a couple different stories that we've heard from our account owners.
Yeah.
And if there are any account owners listening, reach out to us. We love to hear the stories. But one of them is an individual who wasn't verbal. He couldn't speak. He used the money saved in his account to purchase a device that would help him do that. He wouldn't have been able to pay for the cost above what his benefits were going to cover. He wouldn't have had a way to save up enough. Another individual was able to, I believe he works at Starbucks. I could be having the wrong coffee shop. But he works at Starbucks. But it allowed him to move out of his parents' home and to get a roommate, live completely independently, which is what we all, if we have the ability, should be able to do.
Yeah, and it's just like it's one of those things where we can take this for granted. You know, we come up, we have a checking account, we open a savings account at a bank, you know, ho-hum, right?
Yep.
But for some of these folks, this is much more meaningful than that, and it's another way that they gain independence.
Absolutely. It can allow individuals to save for a down payment on a house. Like, I can't imagine being told I can't save for a down payment on a house. And so it gives them a way to do that and still maintain those very important benefits.
Yeah, absolutely. And now something that you mentioned a little bit earlier was that this is an account where family can gift money into. Like, can it be anybody that gives money to people? Do they have to be family? I wanted to kind of dive in a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it can be anyone. It doesn't have to be family. I can donate to your account if
Sure.
Like, anyone can
Please.
donate to anyone. Yes, I know.
I've got school payments that I need.
Yes, no, anyone can. So there's a couple ways. They can either do a payment directly in. If you're comfortable sharing your account number, they can send it directly to the plan. Mm-hmm. Or a lot of people maybe don't want to share their bank account number. Understandable. We have a great platform. It's called YouGift. And so you can give a code, and then that individual can go set up an account there and do it.
Okay.
Another option could be they could also set up payroll direct deposit with their employer. So state of Iowa, we use a system. I can go in and manage my own. If I wanted to start contributing to your account, I could just go in there and set that line item up, where it would go, and the amount I want to send by either percentage or dollars.
Sure.
And then the benefit that a lot of, I think, parents do like as well, the state of Iowa matches the tax deduction for the 529 plan. So anyone who contributes to this ABLE plan can deduct up to $5,800. It doesn't have to be that full amount, but up to $5,800 off their Iowa income taxes.
Yeah. So it sounds like there's like almost kind of a Venmo situation.
Yeah.
That you have access to. There's, like you said, the making it easy with the payroll thing, where if like, hey, I know I want to every paycheck I want to send $100 to this account, I can just make that a line item in there and make it easy.
Absolutely. Or a lot of times, holiday season's coming up.
Yeah.
We try to encourage, like, I know people can't accept gifts sometimes because it'll put them over some of those limits. So it's a great way. I know my grandpa gives me a check. I take a picture of it, and then I deposit it. And you could do similar things it's really great for holidays so people don't have to try to get creative to give gifts.
Perfect. Yeah. And is there like a maximum amount in this account that you can have?
Yeah. So, well, that's a two-part question. So I'm going to answer
Please.
that. Yeah,
we
absolutely.
got time.
So annually, there is a maximum contribution limit that changes with some different federal tax laws. Mm-hmm. Currently, it's $19,000 that can be contributed annually. However, working account owners can contribute a little over $15,000 on top of that. They do need to reach out to the plan so we can fill a form to just lift that. Then the plan can have up to $505,000 in it. However, if you are receiving SSI, anything over $100,000 is counted as a resource. So if you had 102,000, the 2,000 would be counted as a resource. For Medicaid, there is no limit. All the other benefits don't. Only SSI has that 100,000 limit.
Gotcha. I guess the next question is, how do people go and apply for this account? How do they open one?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can do it online. It's super easy. If you prefer paper, you can give us a call, or you can print one from our website. So our website is IABLE, IABLE.gov, G-O-V. There is, if you're interested, if you're eligible, there is an eligibility quiz that you can take. We have accounts that are managed by the account owner if they have the ability to manage their own finances. And if they don't, an authorized individual can open an account on their behalf. Or in the case of like when I was 18, I opened a bank account. I didn't manage it. My mom did. I put her on the account. You can do something similar with the ABLE account too, but you can manage it completely online. It's very easy. Probably takes 5 to 10 minutes to open if you know what investments you want to go in. And we have an investor guide on there to walk you through that.
Perfect. And I guess kind of the last thing is that if people have any questions, obviously, how do they reach out to you? But then also, I know that you were saying that you do webinars. You can go out on location and talk to people. Like if there's an employer that's like, hey, I want to make sure that my people know about this, someone from the Treasury Department can come out and talk to them.
Absolutely. So if you go to IABLE.gov, we have a Contact Us button. It has on there a speaker request form, so you can reach us that way. The phone number, you can call the Treasurer's office. We won't be able to help you set up the account if you call the Treasurer's office, but we can help talk through it. We have an employer guide on the website. So really hitting that, going to our Contact Us on IABLE.gov, will give you all of our contact information and to do a speaker request.
Awesome. Perfect. Is there anything I missed that we didn't get to talk about?
I don't think so. Did I miss anything?
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for stopping by the podcast and talking us through this account. I know that sometimes these counts and numbers can get a little confusing, but like laying it out like this and letting people know how not only easy it is to open this account, but then use it and take it from something kind of theoretical to real life is really great. Absolutely.
And if I could throw in one more thing I forgot to mention is if someone is interested in hearing me talk more, we do have a webinar on the recording of it on our website too, so you can get really into the nuts and bolts if you're not able to make one of our presentations.
Yeah, absolutely, because I know it's great going into the weeds and some of these things, but especially for an audio format, sometimes you might need some visuals to help you kind of like, understand things a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So anyway, thank you again so much for coming by the podcast. Interesting topic, something that we certainly haven't covered before. And we'll try to loop back with you at some point after 2026 rolls around when this account becomes more accessible to people.
Yeah, we'd love that. Thank you so much for having us.